that's happening. Nations are fighting nations. Kingdoms are fighting kingdoms. There's a difference. See, Saudi Arabia calls itself a kingdom. Remember, not a nation. Remember. You follow? Nations are fighting nations, and kingdoms are fighting kingdoms. We're in these days. We're not expecting no more. You'll get better. 8. All these are the beginnings of sorrow. You may as well get worse than this. 9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Are Christians hated? No. 10. We just finished 9. About them delivering us up. Our own people are going to betray us. There might be people sitting here right now that they sent here to listen to me just so they can go back and make a report to the man about me. Oh, he's a troublemaker. He stirs people up. He gets black people angry. And they don't feel bad doing it. They know I haven't said one thing against the government, but they will go back and add on to make the white man have your color in. Oh, he said America got the wall. Oh, he said the wall. Oh, you won't burn. The whole white people together. The black man might get together and say, oh, a big old military rally out there and throw chicken bones. I would have, by the time he takes this message back to the white man, I would have hated everybody. That's how it works. That's why the Bible, that's why Jesus warned us that there's going to be people that deliver us from our own people are going to betray us. Just like his own people betrayed him. You understand what I'm saying? Moses was arguing with his own people. The Egyptians was his own people. You check the history. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. They got me and Farrakhan against each other. You see that? They got Yahweh ben Yahweh and Ben Amin Kala from Israel, 2 Lutheans, one from Chicago, and one hating each other. The Morris Science Temple, the 5%, they got all of us. And all y'all keep saying, why don't y'all get together? That's all y'all want to know. Why don't you and Farrakhan get together, Doc? The difference is I have offered it.
That's right.
Over and over again. I said I will sit down with you anywhere. I said you do not want to debate with me. I'm not boasting, I'm being real. Farrakhan, you do not want to debate with me. But we can sit down and talk on that which we agree on for our people, so we don't look like two rival groups against each other. Let's sit down and agree on the things in which we are common about. The only thing I disagree with is Master Farah Muhammad. I'm not worshiping a white man with you. That's all. Everything else about the nation of Islam is beautiful to me. But I'm not taking another white God. You understand? Right. And I ain't passing off as black or half black, so I ain't buying it. We can sit down and solve our problems. They don't want to come in. I try to meet Siraj Wahad to the Sunni Muslims. Scared of me. Try to meet Yahweh ben Yahweh. Scared of me. I sat down with some of the Sunni Muslims. We sat at a table together. He said, Salaam alaikum, alaikum salam, wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Saying, now what's this conversation going to be? The Lord of Arabiya, English. I said, the first Lord of Arabiya. I know the Quran is Kareem. I want the language of Arabic, the language of the Quran. I'm going to argue with you in English. Let's argue you. You're a Muslim in Arabic. Let's argue this thing out in Arabic. You know what he said? No. No. Literally, no. So how can I argue with you about the Quran in English? If you're a Muslim and I'm a Muslim, we should be able to debate this thing in our language. No. I said, I can't talk to you then, because you're going to play word games for the congregation. Your congregation don't speak Arabic. And mine does, because I taught mine how to speak Arabic. So we get mad, we get a fight going, because every time I go to black boys, what that word means, you're going to get mad at me. You know what I'm saying? And so I couldn't do that. So I couldn't reach them that way. They don't want to meet me. You meeting me now? You talking to me? So I'm not a difficult person to get along with? I'm a very rational person. All you got to do is make sense. When you start getting silly, I say, excuse me, that's silly. Don't tell me when I die, my spirit is going to go back to the sun and bounce off the sun and come back here. Don't tell me that. I mean, if you're telling me I have to tell the kids as a story like Nancy, like the Ashanti tribe stories, Uncle, about the Spider-Man, all right, I'll tell my kids little stories like that. But I'm not going to tell my son and daughter that when we die, a ghost angel is coming to take our souls and take us to some place in heaven and sit us on a chair next to God. I'm not teaching my children that ignorance. I'll teach you that children's stories, but I'm not teaching it as a fact. I'm sorry. That bothers you? Tough. I'm not messing my kids' head up with fiction. So that's why we can't get a good job. Because we go to a job hoping Jesus gets it for us, instead of going there with the qualifications. Your grandmother will tell you, take the Bible and pray before you get that job. But that's the kind of man I am. Because I'm a man of fact. I'll say, where's Jesus now? If I walk up to my land of Jesus or whatever, that in the cars all crashed up, you got a cross dangling around. So you could do this without this cross. You could crash the car without this cross up in here. And Muslims, and I've been in Egypt, and they be crashed up in Arabic, be all inside the cars all crashed up, people all bleeding and stuff like this. Shoot. You could have took this stuff out there and put satanic symbols in there and had this happen to you. And that's what I'm calling a real person. And they don't want a real man. They don't want a person who wants to talk to them straight up. They want people to know them and pep them up and give them false hope and hum with them. That's what sit in a circle and victim. Allah. Tell me that Allah. How do you do that? I'm that kind of person. I can't help it. I'm that kind of person. How long are we going to be doing this high thing? Is something going to happen? I mean, if I keep hiding, is the law will walk in? You know, I'm going to see it with you and I'm going to hours now. Listen, I'm going to go back. Because young folks, when it comes down to go to the bathroom, God don't make no exceptions. Every Sufi, the Pope could be up there giving a service. He could be up there, I know Dominic, he goes, I know Dominic. Domino's holy, that's right. When the bathroom calls whether God is there or not. Those are realities. And when you have a religion that says, while you're praying like a Muslim, if you have an excrete flatus, which is a fart for those who don't know, or any of those other things, you broke your prayer, and if God don't know, he can't. He gave us our respiratory or digestive system. Yet I can't see it as fact that God is in total control and understands everything about me. Don't tell me when a woman is ministrating she's unclean, and you're telling me this is a process for cleaning yourself? That don't make sense. Women got to pray in the back. I'm with you now. Alright? In the Muslim world, women pray in the back, men pray in the front. In the Muslim world, it's all right if a woman don't come to Salatul Jummah, the Friday, which is like the Sabbath there, the holy day. And she don't have to come. That's what I say. Why? Women got to walk around in veils. Because God said so. Yet God gave them their nose, their mouth, their lips, and their eyes. God gave them their beauty. And then God tells them to cover their beauty up. What he made, he takes them out in a state. And we can ask Muslims, and I was able to write all kinds of stories of why he did it well. Because Abraham went into Egypt, and everybody wanted Sarah. You know what I'm saying? And they would see Sarah, so they said, cover so every man in Egypt don't want Sarah. Okay? So what about the ugly Muslim women? Nobody. I'll call you in the car and say, and all the pretty women cover yourself, and all the ugly women you don't have to cover yourself. And then who decides who's pretty and who's ugly? Right? Yeah, okay. How you do it? If your nose is more than 5 inches, if your lip drags on the ground, if one of your eyes don't work, because when you cry, the tears go down your back. And more than likely, you ugly. Cover that up. Who's going to make that decision? How can this cook be from God and make such unnatural decisions? That's the reality that struck me as a Muslim. Not trying to, as being born a Muslim, I tried to hide it in my belief system. You know, I wanted to believe it because, it's pretty. I mean, it's beautiful in here, the Quran. You ever heard the Quran? قل أعوذ برب الناس مالك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في Beautiful stuff. But so is Luther Vandross. And he ain't singing about God. He's singing about something that's happening right now. Love. He's saying about what we need more than praising God. We got to identify with loving each other first. So if we don't love each other, we can't possibly love God. So they got us directing our attention away from humanity and its spirits and spooks and goblins. When these same people hate each other on earth. The same thing. Muslims hate Christians. Christians hate Jews. If you don't think so, you just turn on the news any night and watch it over in Palestine, killing each other because they have different religious beliefs.